Movie List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad. And on this episode, we'll be exploring number 27 from AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions, the top 100 love stories of all time.
All right, number 27 is The Sound of Music, released in 1965, directed by Robert Weiss, starring Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer.
The synopsis for this movie musical is as follows. Maria, played by Julie Andrews, is a free-spirited Austrian woman studying to be a nun in 1938. She is sent to the villa of retired naval captain George von Trapp, played by Christopher Plummer, to be the governess to his 7 children. The captain has been raising the children alone using strict military discipline following the death of his wife. Although the children misbehave at first, Maria responds with patience and kindness, and the children eventually come to trust and respect her. While he is away, Maria updates the children's clothes and takes them around Salzburg and the mountains. Displeased, the captain attempts to fire her. When he hears his children singing, he becomes overcome by emotion and joins them, singing for the first time in years. The captain apologizes to Maria and asks her to stay. The children's talent for song has the captain's friends proposing he enter them in the upcoming Salzburg festival, but the captain disapproves of the children singing in public. During a formal party in his grand ballroom, where guests dance the waltz, the captain notices Maria teaching his son Kurt a traditional folk dance. He steps in and partners with Maria in a graceful performance that culminates in a close embrace. Confused about her feelings, Maria runs away. Later, the Baroness Schrader, who fancies the captain and noticed his attraction to Maria, indirectly convinces her to return to the abbey. Mother Abbess learns that Maria has stayed in seclusion to avoid her feelings for the captain and encourages her to return to the villa to look for purpose in her life. Upon her return, Maria learns about the captain's engagement to the Baroness. She agrees to stay on as governess until a replacement is found. The Baroness soon realizes the captain's feelings for Maria remain and peacefully calls off the engagement, encouraging the captain to express his feelings for Maria. The captain and Maria marry. While on their honeymoon, the captain's friend Max enters the children in the Salzburg festival against his wishes. The couple returns home upon learning Austria has been annexed by the Third Reich. The captain receives a telegram that he's to report to a German naval base. Strongly opposed to the Nazis, the captain tells his family they must leave Austria immediately. That night, they attempt to flee to Switzerland, but are stopped by Germans outside the villa. To cover their tracks, the captain says they are headed to Salzburg to perform. The Germans insist on escorting them to Salzburg, and after the performance, will accompany the captain to his stationed naval base. During their final number, the family slips away and seeks shelter at the abbey, where Mother Abbess hides them in the crypt. The Germans arrive and search for the family, but they escape using the caretaker's car. The Germans attempt pursuit, but nuns have disabled their cars. The next morning, the family reaches the Swiss border and enters Switzerland to safety and freedom.
Okay, so when we watched this movie a little while ago, and it was actually the first time I've ever seen it.
That shocks me that that was the first time that you saw this
That
movie.
was the first time I ever watched this movie. And hey, you know what? It's kind of good.
It is.
It's pretty good.
To me, everyone will, the famous scene in the movie is her in the Alps, that's the famous scene. Yeah. But to me, one of the best scenes in any musical is the scene in the ballroom when the two of them have that dance together where they're doing the folk dance.
Yes.
Because you can see the two of them, they play it really, really great. Mm-hmm. And you see the attraction come across. Yeah. And then they have the embrace. And you see the pure panic in Julie Andrews because she's supposed to become a nun.
Yeah.
And she's falling in love with this guy.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't know what to do. But, the whole thing is, from the very beginning, everyone around her kind of realizes she's not supposed to be a nun.
Yeah.
Everyone at the Abbey, which is why she gets sent away to be a governess for these children, is...
Right. They have this whole song about what do you do about Maria, you know? Because she's so, doesn't quite fit in there. They love her, but she doesn't quite fit in.
She's sweet and kind and all of these things, but she's not set out to live that kind of life.
Right.
And they know it, and they're kind of trying to kindly show her. They don't want to kick her out, but they're also trying to kindly show her that there is another life that she's probably much more suited to, that she should pursue.
Right.
Which is also why she gets sent back out to the villa after she runs away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was my first time watching it, and it's great. I mean, I can understand why it's such a classic. But dude, it gets dark.
It's based on a true story about this family that had to, they made a musical out of it, but
it's just crazy because I was like, whoa, like there's Nazis coming, and it's just like it gets very, very dark quickly. But it really works. It works. You believe it. You understand what's happening.
Well, all the lighthearted stuff is what makes you care. Like, immediately, and this is like the flip side of what I was talking about when they put a person that you really like into a character that's shitty. When you put a character that you really like into a character that's really, really likable, you kind of immediately fall in love with them.
Yes.
And you go through this whole thing, and the story is really light and generally fluffy, and they get married and everything's great, and then they get called back because, the Nazis have shown up. And it's like towards the end of the movie, you're like, the first time you watch it, you're kind of like, what just happened?
That's exactly what I did.
What just happened?
Because I was like, wait a minute, like what?
This is a
musical. This isn't supposed to happen.
This is not the lighthearted musical that I was watching. These people are now like
running for their lives.
Now they're in a grave situation because if they don't get away, he is going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight as a German.
Yeah.
Because they've taken over Austria. So that little latter half of the movie. They still imbue it with quite a bit of humor, like the way that the cars are disabled by nuns.
Yes,
and they kind of like play it off like, oh, we're doing.
Yeah. So the costumes, the set designs are.
The colors are great in this movie.
It's beautiful. And the songs.
And they do the thing they do a really good job of is when you first meet the children, like their clothes are made out of like drapes.
No, she makes their clothes out of drapes.
I thought they were already wearing drapes.
No.
Well,
he's got her in like got them in like the same shit. They're all wearing the same stuff.
Almost like military-esque garb. Like they're like almost in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes in, and as she comes in, there's a lightness in the family, and it's showcased through the children's clothes and the children's behavior and the children's song and dance. All of this is used to really great effect, and you see it also change this man who he's doing the best that he's a good man. He's doing the best that he can, but he's been left, as a single parent to 7 children.
Yeah.
And, he's got he doesn't have time to just emotionally invest while he's trying to grieve the death of his wife. But then this woman comes into his life and really changes things up for him. And the set design and the songs and everything really works.
The music is every one of them is a banger.
Yeah.
Every one. And, so it's so memorable. So I understand what people's love for this movie is. Like, I get it. Because, that was the first time I watched it. And I still remember a lot of the songs and the plot and everything. Because, it's very, very good. And it's very well done. And it's a unique love story between, soon-to-be nun and a widow. Yeah. So, it's they're falling for each other, yet they're not really aware of what's happening. And
I think he is,
and it's very sweet. And she she struggles with, oh my God, like I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be a nun.
I'm supposed to have these feelings. Nuns don't have these feelings.
Yeah, so she's like, she runs away from it. But ultimately, you have to follow your heart, and that's what she does. And it's a very, very good movie.
Yeah. You got, you got great chemistry between Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not with Julie Andrews?
Yeah.
Right?
It's unfortunate. She's still with us, but it's unfortunate she can't sing anymore.
Yeah,
sad.
She
had some kind of throat ailment about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And she can't even just, sing in her bathroom by herself anymore. So anytime you see her on screen now, it's unfortunately just as her as an actress, which is still great. I mean, she's still a good actress, but...
Was this before or after Mary Poppins?
I think it's right around the same time. They're both in the 60s there. I'm trying to remember when Mary Poppins... This is 65. Is Mary Poppins like 67-ish?
Let's take a look, because now I'm gonna know.
They're real close. I'm curious.
Let's see, 64.
So it's the year before.
Right before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have all... The only thing I can say about this movie, like a bad downside, is that it's a little long.
It is a little
It's a little long.
It's a little bit long, but you kind of let it go because unlike, a couple of the musicals we've talked about here recently, this one is not boring.
No, it's not at all.
This movie moves for the most part. So while it's a little bit long, the pacing's pretty good on it, and you don't lose a lot there. I gave it a 79. Jerry gave it a 75. The list score is 77.
All right. If you have comments, I'm sure people have something to say about me seeing this for the first time.
That shocked me.
At the age of 47.
I was shocked.
I don't know if it was like a Defiance thing, because...
I'm surprised your mom never had it on.
She owned it. We had the VHS of it. She owned it.
Wow.
And my mom and my sister both loved this movie. And I just was like, meh. Like, I don't know if it was like me just like... asserting independence, I don't know, by like not watching it, I don't know, and then it just
never happened.
So I'm glad I finally saw it.
So that's
great.
The irony is that her husband, who is not a huge fan of movie musicals, is the one who introduced her to
he's like, I've seen it,
And we just watched it to watch it. This was before we were doing the list.
Yeah, we did. If you have any comments or anything, please leave a comment on this video. If you would like to see more content, please subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to contact us directly, please do so at ratingthelist@gmail.com. But for now, I'm Jerry.
I'm Brad.
And we're Rating the List, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.